auditors. Thank you so much. You entertained thoroughly and everything was theme-based. I have never seen such programs in schools because normally in schools they do cultural shows. They will do one dance or the other dance. But this was complete. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And one thing more. I would rather say that every child was so good in performance, but Shylock stood out and he stood out. I think he's an actor in the making. Dear friends, teachers, parents, Bishop Ignatius and Sister Letitia. You know that I am a journalist, and journalists, they can be good listeners and writers, but they are not good speakers. So you all have to bear with me as I read out my message for you. First of all, I must thank the school administration, especially Sister Letitia, principal of the Sacred Heart Convent, for inviting me here to interact with you all. Over my 26 years of career in journalism, it is probably the first such wonderful opportunity to speak to the audience so young. I've been in regular touch with college and university students for trainings in journalism, and I think I'm quite well versed with the young psyche and the growing minds. To me, especially as a woman and as a journalist, the learning has always been two ways. Whenever I interacted with the young students or children in the college, university, or sometimes even informally in the school, I think I have been a beneficiary of that interaction too. So same for today, I would say. Having lived in Shimla, I have heard a lot about your school. I know that it was opened in 2008, and Sister Jacinta, she had a very committed team and a hard-working team when the school began till the class 6, and gradually under her leadership, it grew from strength to strength and is presently the 7th batch of class 12. I have not been a language or literature student. I have a science background and I have dealt with social science all through my profession. But looking at today's performance and the way the students beautifully portrayed, rather lived, the characters in the adaptation of Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice, I have no doubts in my mind that your school believes in the hard work, discipline and holistic development of children. I am told that the students here have excelled at national level in different fields. That means that your foundation is very strong and it is good enough to keep your students going in life in every situation. I congratulate the school for this and the principal and all the teachers for this. And I am very sure that the foundress of this congregation, Sister Teresa Nyozo, I hope I am pronouncing it rightly, she would be so proud of you all. I know that all of you are very intelligent, the students, the parents, the teachers. And you are getting the best of education and at the school and at home. You are getting the best of environment and facilities too. Having said it, let me share my feelings with you as a journalist who is daily exposed to the happenings around and as a parent who has raised 2 children, a son and a daughter. With all the pressures of changing times, where priorities and values have changed and where there is rat race to be on the top. Young friends, it is very important to be curious in life. You learn only when you are curious to know and experiment. And here, learning is not cramming to be on the top or cramming to come first in the exam. I think learning here is the experience, good or bad. If you fail in an exam, you learn to improve. If you pass an exam and get good marks, you learn to sustain and take another step ahead. Dear students, no 2 individuals are same. You may score equal marks, but you certainly have different capacities. In today's world of competitiveness, I have seen children getting depressed, getting frustrated if they are unable to clear tests like NEET or JEE or any other entrance exam after +2. That is the most crucial time for any child nowadays. when you have to plan your career ahead. You want to be a doctor, but you are not able to crack NEET in 1, 2 or 3 attempts. That's not the end of road. Work harder and consider it your destiny. As many times what you become and how great you can do in life, you never know in advance. Act like a 16-year-old, 17-year-old or 18-year-old like child, not as 40-year-old man or woman. And be open to the door that life makes you enter into. Sometimes life guides us better than our own self, our teachers and parents. I would like to share my own example here. I had done the 1-year degree in journalism and mass communication only to fill the gap between my postgraduate course in agricultural economics and the viva course for that. And after that I got enrolled into PhD for agricultural economics. And while I was doing PhD, I got a job offer from the Indian Express Chandigarh, and I was confused because I never liked what I was studying in college, although I got good marks in that. And journalism was a totally new field for me. So I was a bit shaky at that time, what to do, what not to do. But then my father, he pushed me into a new field and said that you must explore the new field and don't walk on the beaten path. You may have bad experiences, but then ultimately if you try to learn, you will do good in life. And that's what I have felt after 26 years, that I was made for this profession and I learned every day, every minute. And even today if I do any story, I do it from my heart and I do it with passion, and that makes a difference in life. Even if you become a doctor, you become an engineer, you become a teacher. If you do it with passion, so that will make you a different teacher, doctor, engineer. So my message to you is that whatever you want to do it from your heart, and don't try to follow others that if the other child is doing this, I have to do that. So have your own path. It's always easier to walk on the beaten path and very difficult to explore the new fields. But then sky is the limit for anybody who wants to explore. And as I was narrating you, it was hell of a struggle in the new profession that I joined way back in 1993. But then I wanted to learn, and I must share that I sustained all the pressures of a city life because I came from a small village, not a village, it's a suburban area, township, Palanpur. Now it has grown up. So I learned to be a good news reporter and a journalist who was ultimately confident to venture into any field. I could travel at night, I could travel at daytime, I could go to any place. I covered the Satluj floods in 2000. Many of you must have read the news about it when 100 people they were washed away in Satluj floods, and there were no roads in Kinnaur, there was nothing, no infrastructure. Still I had to go and cover the stories, and along the Satluj waters, the vibrant waters of Satluj, which were very scary. So I went there and did my job, and I think that is because I wanted to do it. And then there was another challenge that 35 people in Himachal. Himachal is a peaceful state, but then 35 people in Himachal for the first time were killed in Chamba militant attack, 1998. Most of them, they were not even born that time. But then it was also a challenge to go there, and I covered it, and I'm proud of it that I was a part of the journalists who reached right at the spot and did it. So you have to take risks in life. So I would, it's just a small message from my side to all the children and parents here, that I personally feel that I have got lots of experience covering lots of ideas, lots of stories every day, and I cover the stories of stress, struggle, success, everything. And from Himachal, from India, and even abroad, I have been to different countries also to cover some issues. So I've got that exposure to tell you something, that every story ends with the conclusion of every story is one, that you should be ready to take the step forward. If you are stand still and you don't take a step forward, you will never succeed in life, or you will never be an achiever. That will stall all your life. Here if all of you are well versed with the recent news, there was one lady from Karnataka. I think the children, they are good at news these days. Thimakka. Does anybody know her? The Vriksha Mata. No. So that lady, she was 107 years old and she didn't have any children. So she thought that to fill that vacuum in her life, she would grow trees and rear the trees, raise the trees like her children. And she planted 8,000 trees. She was recently awarded Padma Shri Award by the President of India. So I mean to say that if you are positive in life, that if you have a vacuum, you think that you can't do this, you can do some other thing. So take a step to excel in life. Otherwise you will keep sitting here and people will scale the heights. So the point is to do anything in life, but do it with positivity and sensitivity. And one last suggestion that I would like to give to all of you is, and which is the key to do better in life, is that you should be ready to accept your mistakes. Sometimes children, they do something, कुछ शरारतें कर लेते हैं and then they say कि नहीं हमने नहीं किया, या वो शरारतें करते करते they go to a bigger शरारत and ultimately they can reach that level of crime also. So I mean to say, if you have the courage to accept your mistakes, only then the solution will come, and then only then the things will be sorted out. Denial will stall your progress and you will not grow at all. So while there is need for all the parents and teachers to reorient themselves in guiding the children in the changing times, the children should also not take the elders for granted and respect them, their feelings. The teachers or parents, they may expect a lot from you, but their expectations are always to make you do better in life. Last but not the least, since you are at tender age, you are all at tender age and the parents are also facing this problem these days, that drugs, the children, many children are now taking to drugs just to release the stress they have, maybe of the career, maybe at home, maybe at school. So the school management, the teachers, the parents and the children, they should all be interacting with them day to day, so that the problems that the children face, the stress that the children face, it is not diverted towards drugs, that they don't share with you and they take drugs and get relaxed. So I think only then the school, the child, the student, the parents, they can be fulfilling their responsibility towards the younger generation. Once again, thank you very much for the school for inviting me here and giving me this opportunity to address.
Thank you, ma'am, for your very kind and encouraging words. These pearls of wisdom, we are sure, will remain with us forever. This evening would be incomplete without your blessings, your lordship. May I please invite you to come up and say a few words.
Because we heard very beautiful, reflective words from our chief guest, Mrs. Archana of the Statesman. So beautiful to hear you, and you have already said so inspiring things to these young students, and I was watching them and I could see a number of them very attentive. Even those who have their back towards you, they were attentive. I'm not saying everyone, but a vast majority of them. And as I am talking to you, I can see them looking at me, hopefully with compassion and kindness. Thank you very much, my beautiful children. As they say in Hindi, Asman ke tare zameen par. And we have had all these beautiful stuff. I want to say it was a God's blessing. It was God's blessing. I happened to come to Simla just 2 days ago on my visits to in Catholic institutions, and yesterday after lunchtime, sister arrived at the place where I'm staying at Eagle Mount and gave me the invitation, and I said I would look forward to an annual program because as it's so beautiful, as someone said in the introduction, it's a sweet interlude. I want to congratulate all the wonderful teachers. The high standard and the quality of your performance is tremendous. I just want to say, continue, and one line, continue beautifully with the qualities that were mentioned of kindness, of compassion, of love, of forgiveness. Continue, my children, to walk humbly, to love tenderly, and to act justly. Can you repeat that last line? To walk humbly, to love tenderly, and to act justly. Can you say that by yourselves? To walk humbly, to love, and to act. Give them a big hand. Thank you, dear parents. God bless you.
To deliver the vote of thanks.
To improve the golden moment of opportunity and to catch the good that is within our reach is the great art of life, and the greatest achievement of human spirit is to live up to one's opportunities and make the most of one's resources. Our variety entertainment this evening has been just that opportunity to showcase our talent. It has been rightly said that a thankful heart is not only the greatest virtue, but the parent of all other virtues. We are indeed very thankful to our chief guest, Mrs. Arjuna Phul, and the guests of honor, Dr. Manindrajit Kaur, for so kindly making time from the busy itinerary to be with us this evening. We specially thank Reverend Bishop Ignatius Mascarenhas, Bishop of Shimla, Chandigarh, and all our other guests for gracing us with your presence. Time is the one thing that can never be retrieved, and the highest value of life is found in the stewardship of time. We are indeed forever indebted to you, dear parents, for always making time for us and wholeheartedly supporting our every endeavor. A student's life will be forever filled with constant courage and the will to excel if they have a strong support system, a guiding hand. We express our heartfelt gratitude to our principal, Sister Leticia, for being our friend, philosopher and guide, and for her unstinted faith in each one of us. Every man is free to rise, as far as he is able or willing, but the degree to which he thinks determines the degree to which he rises. A special thanks to all our teachers for helping us to so great heights and tap our talent. We are also very grateful to our sponsors, Vastram and Mrs. Prabha Sethi, for providing refreshments for the participants. Once again, thank you all.